This is the grandest stage the sport of bowling has to offer. We are inside the National Bowling Stadium in Reno, Nevada, where in just about 24 hours, Joe Bowler will throw out that infamous first ball and officially get the 2014 USBC Open Championships underway. Hello everybody, I'm Matt Lawson from Bowl TV. This is the Open Championships Kickoff Special, where in just a few minutes we will get to the business everybody's here for. We will unveil the two oil patterns, let you take a look at the graphs. We're going to throw some balls on the lanes. You'll get to see the balls react to it for the first time. We'll have some experts and coaches here to watch and give you some input, maybe be able to help you when it's your turn to come out here and post your score. Coming up during this show, we were also going to take a look around the venue. There have been some changes this year, not just to the bowling center itself, but also to the side events. You'll see some new things here this year, both at Lane 81 with Coach Mike Jasnow, who we will visit with as well, and down on the track showcase lanes. First, though, there is one big new improvement that you're going to notice right away, and I'm talking about before you even set foot on the lanes. Take a look. The National Bowling Stadium squad room has undergone an amazing facelift this year. From the walls to the chairs, top to bottom, a new experience all the way around.
At the end result is a wonderful, nice, intimate room instead of a room that is more commercialized. I think it brought more of a living room style look to bring the bowlers in, to have them sit down and get ready to go out on lanes and bowl. So I think it turned out fantastic.
The bracket area moves to the far end, but mostly it's the look and feel that will be much improved. This is just the latest piece of a massive $15 million renovation to the stadium. From inside to out, the place is getting quite a makeover.
Phase 4 next year for the bowlers, that we are going to be installing brand new lanes. Last time we installed lanes was in 2005, and so with our agreement with USBC, we'll be installing brand new lanes 1 through 78. In addition to that, it looks like we'll be giving the fresh coat of paint to the outside of the building. That's kind of a temporary thing, because at the very end of this project, this $15 million project, we actually will be remodeling the entire outside of the building. So we're looking forward to the final phase of the entire exterior, having a brand new look, a totally different look.
So take in this atmosphere while you can. You may not recognize the old girl pretty soon. Back here on the main level now in this new bowler spectators area, kind of a lounge type feel. They've knocked out a wall here on the high end of the house, give you a chance to stand here and watch your friends or teammates bowl. Kind of a neat addition to the venue this year. And we're here with Matt Cannizzaro, USBC's media guru, if you will, here in Reno. And I know this is a huge time of year for you guys. Tell the folks at home a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes as we get this close to the opening.
Right now we're just a little ways away. Finishing touches going up right now, signage, everything's coming along. It's a great venue. We've been here many times, but certainly a new look this year. A very exciting look, a fresh look. Great things happening. Again, this spectator area is fantastic. So looking forward to the excitement. The bowlers on their way into town right now, and it's going to be a long, sweet run here in Reno.
Yeah, Matt handles media requests, press releases. He's the first to let us know when a big score is happening, and of course, the live stream. He's the voice of the live streaming here at the Open Championships, and that means that, again, we're going to have a number of great bowlers coming through here. What are some highlights for the live stream schedule this year?
Live streaming really has taken off here at the Open Championships, and we'll have about 30 broadcasts from Reno this year. Defending champions, Zeke Bate, our doubles champions, Rick Gatlin and Brian Burkhart, John Gaines and the record holders in the team event. So some of the great standbys as well, Jeff Riggles, Matt McNeil, and definitely always the potential for some excitement on the live stream, and can't wait to get out there and get started and showcase not only this event, but the great bowlers and this venue too.
Yeah, we look forward to the action right here on Bowl TV. You know where to find it, youtube.com/BowlTV. And Matt and I, you might notice, Lucas as well, all the guys on the show today are wearing some of the new gear from USBC Bowling Store. You can, of course, check that out when you come here to the venue when it's time for you to bowl, or anytime on USBCBowlingStore.com. Time now to take a quick look at some of the ball booths. Chance for you to see some of the new equipment that's out there. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Chris Castro with the Columbia booth, here for the 2014 USBC Nationals. Here we want to feature our new Columbia ball, the Crazy Antics. It's going to get down the lane, have a lot strong back in, and we got our new ball coming out in March the 3rd, the Disorder. It's going to be a little smoother, nice ball reaction on the back. We have our nice Columbia bags of 4 balls, 3 ball bags and 2 ball bags. And this year we are also sponsoring the 40 frame game downstairs in the showcase lanes.
Hi, I'm Jason Walton here at the track booth, 2014 USBC Open Champs. This year we're featuring the 400A, which will get clean through the heads, nice angular move to the pocket, as well as the HX05, MX10, LX16. Basically, we have a ball to fit any style. So you've got the quick response cover stock, as well as the delayed response cover stock. We've also got some track apparel for all you track fans out there. Great looking bags. And we're also sponsoring the showcase lanes downstairs for team practice on the actual USBC 2014 pattern. So you can come out and get your team strategy dialed in.
Hi, this is Richard Twyman from the Ebonite booth. Today we'd actually like to talk about our new pivot point. This is going to be the ball for kind of like doubles and singles to give you some skid flip ball motion. The pivot's going to be more towards your team event to give you that smooth ball motion, more archy type. As you can see, our bags. Come up and see us for our full line of gloves and accessories. And we'd also like to talk about our waves for just a few minutes. Come up and get your balls cleaned out, get the pores open back up so you can really score good at the tournament conditions. And we also have our cleaners and polishes, so come up and see us and get those type of things from us. Thanks, and enjoy your tournament this year.
Hi, welcome to the Hammer booth, the 2014 Reno National Tournament. I'd like to start off today with some of our fine apparel.
All right, Andy. Thank you, Willie. All right.
Our 2-ball roller, retractable handle, stronger mill material, our ever popular ball bearing wheels. I'd like to finish off today by pointing out 2 of our new hot balls. We're bringing back the Gas Mist Toro and the Assassin. If you're looking for long and strong down lane, this is the ball for you. And finally, our newest addition, the Deadly Aim. It's our hybrid cover stop, which gives you control and predictability off the spot. It's now coming out with a 3-year unprecedented warranty. This is accomplished by adding carbon fiber to the outer core, which creates a stronger bond to the inner core, which will create great intensity from ball to pins. Just remember, nothing hits harder than a hammer. Come on down and visit us at the Hammer booth. Ask for any questions on lane play, surface preparations, or just say hello. And if you haven't signed up today for the tournament, be part of one of the greatest tournaments ever. Thanks and have a nice day.
Hey, remember to visit youtube.com/bowltv and subscribe to our channel. You can also do it by clicking on the little button here that's on your screen. When you subscribe to Bowl TV, you will be among the first to know when we post a new video. It's a way to stay on top of things. Well, as usual, the Open Championships is not the only game in town. There's plenty of bowling to do right here in the track showcase lanes and upstairs at the tournament level. Let's check in with Lucas Wiseman, who has all the info.
Before you hit the lanes for the main event, you'll want to stop here at the Storm Bowlers Journal Championships inside the National Bowling Stadium. The Bowlers Journal features doubles and singles competition in a variety of age and average-based divisions, plus a series of optional jackpots, all taking part on the same lane condition you'll face in the Open Championships doubles and singles events. The Columbia 340 frame game will also move inside the National Bowling Stadium this year and will be conducted on the track showcase lanes. The 40 frame game is a handicapped singles tournament that is 40 continuous frames of fun and challenge that includes no-tap frames, mulligans, bonus pins, and more. For more information and squad times for both the Bowlers Journal Championships and the 40 frame game, visit bowl.com.
Another benefit you'll see this year comes in the form of a partnership between USBC and Lane 81 coach Mike Jasnow. Individual coaching lessons will now be held upstairs here at Lane 81, complete with the CATS tracking system and all the bells and whistles that come with it, while team practices will still be held downstairs at the track showcase lanes. And anyone who bowls the track showcase lanes for practice will receive this towel, courtesy of our friends over at Track. Now, the USBC VIP package for the Open Championships continues this year as well, and there's still time to be a part of it. It's bigger and better than ever. The VIP experience returns to the Open Championships in a big way. 2014 VIPs will have their choice, either a 1-hour team practice session at the track showcase lanes for up to 10 bowlers, or a 90-minute individual coaching session upstairs at Lane 81 with Coach Mike Jasnow. Either way, you'll be getting some early work in on the tournament lane pattern.
I think as a general rule, most people bowl on easier conditions at home, house shots. They're not used to this tournament condition. So even a few practice games on this condition will help you prepare to be more effective on this type of condition that most people are not used to. Up here with the coaching lesson, it's a full video analysis. I do side view, back view, close up of the hand of the release. We do an analysis of what you're doing now. If there's anything I think that can be better, I'll tell you what can be better and how to make it better. I think it's important also to know that this is not just for the highest level bowlers, for all level bowlers.
Bowler's Journal is getting in on the VIP experience as well. This year's VIPs will get a singles entry into the Storm Bowler's Journal Championships presented by USBC and a 1-year subscription to Bowler's Journal magazine. You'll also get a VIP membership credential along with your Callaway member polo shirt and a VIP photo and video package. Everywhere you turn here at the tournament, you'll be treated with some first-class flair.
The whole idea behind the VIP is just sort of heighten a bowler's experience while they're here. They get a shirt, they get a chance to get a lesson. Overall, just give them something that'll make the memory a little more special when they return to friends and family.
This popular program also provides you with access to the VIP locker area here at the stadium and a deal getting your gear in and out of town with a discount for Bowling Ball Express. All of this for just $229.95, so hurry, spots are filling up fast. To reserve your VIP experience, please visit bowl.com/VIP or call 1-800-514-BOWL, extension 8418. Hey, here on the ground floor at the National Bowling Stadium, you'll also find the satellite to the International Bowling Museum and Hall of Fame. Definitely should stop by. It's free of charge to come in. You get a great look at some of the history of this great sport, and perhaps one day you might even see yourself in here. Not bad. It's just about time to unveil the oil patterns for the 2014 USBC Open Championships. I'm going to head back upstairs to the lanes, and while I do, take a quick look again through some of the ball booths.
Hi, I'm Jesse Hojnacki, and I'm here at the Brunswick booth for the 2014 Open Championships in Reno, Nevada. I'm going to start off by showing you some bowling balls that are going to work out here on the team pattern and doubles and singles pattern. We got the Rex version 2 and the Rex version 2 Pearl. This is going to be something you start out in team event, and this is going to be a little bit better for singles and doubles. And now we're going to go over here to the Brunswick line, where we got the Mastermind and the Mastermind Genius. This is right here is going to work out great for the team pattern. You know, it's going to work out a little bit better for singles and doubles. We also got $20 instant rebate on both of these bowling balls. Now we're going to head over to the Deviate line here. We got the Deviate Ruckus and we got the Deviate Ruckus Feud. Both of these bowling balls right here are going to match up great for the lane patterns. You got the Ruckus Feud, probably going to be better for singles or team event. And the Ruckus is going to be a little bit better for singles and doubles. It's going to get down the lane a little bit farther. Give you a better reaction for those patterns.
Hi there, bowlers. I'm Frankie May. This is my 18th year here for you at the USBC National Open Championships. I'm proud to say I got 3 great products to talk about with you here, but something that's always neglected is bowler comes in, hurries to the paddock. Stop in and see all of your pro shops here on display. We have ideas, doesn't cost you a penny to talk, that may help you an awful lot. One of my biggest products here I have for you at the Visionary booth is Motive. This is the 2nd year with Motive. We have all of their top line bowling balls, all of their beautiful bags, 3-ball, 2-ball bags, and we also have beautiful shirts that you're able to pick up right here at reasonable prices. And Visionary, of course, my other company that's with me, who's been here for the same amount of years as me, 18 years, is Visionary, which we have all of your top line stuff. The brand new Samurai ball, Samurai, that is red hot. We have Lynn's custom shoes and all of their bags, the shoe types. We have bags, 5-ball bags, 3, 4, 5 bags. We have triples, doubles, anything you can imagine. As you see, we're stocked with bowling balls ready to help you out, and everything we do for you for the 18 years are drilled the Frankie May way with the 3 layouts: arc, control, and stacked. So stop in. We're here to help you.
I'm Mike Flanagan from Storm Products, and let's take a look at the Rotogrip balls. We've got the Hypercell, good for rev challenge players, a little bit higher ball speed, or you can polish it up if you do have more revs on the ball. It's been a great ball. We've also got the Uproar. We saw Jason Belmonte win the last 2 majors with that ball. Got a little more rev rate, that ball is going to be good for you. Now let's go over and look at the Storm balls. Now in the Storm line, top to bottom, we have the best products available. We've got the all-new IQ Tour Fusion. This is the most popular ball on the planet. Might be ball of the year, and it's only been out for a month. Then also over here, the Zero Gravity comes out March 4th. Very, very aggressive ball, and it's a ball that's going to work really good here at the Open Championships this year.
Hi, I'm Mark Anderson. I've been the general manager here at the Storm booth for the last 14 years, and we're ecstatic to have you all back here in town this year. If you have any questions about Reno, stop in and see us. And if you have any questions about our equipment, I'll be happy to help you out.
Hi, my name is Eric Flanders. Not only do we have bowling balls at the Storm booth, we also have Dexter bowling shoes, #1 bowling shoe in the world. As well as the Dexter shoes, we have the Storm brand shoes manufactured by Dexter. In this year's tournament, we're offering a 20% discount on the Storm shoes. Look forward to seeing you.
And last but not least, we've got a great deal on our shirts here at the Open Championships. If you buy 5 or more, you save 20%. And also, we do have an iPad here where you can join the Storm Nation, and you can win a bowling ball each month. Make sure you check that out.
Back here on the tournament lanes now, and it is time for the moment that you've all been waiting for. Time to reveal the oil patterns for the 2014 USBC Open Championships alongside Eric Pearson. This is the guy who comes up with the lane patterns, USBC's lane man, if you will. I know that's not a technical title, but we'll go with that for purposes of today's events. What goes into this process? What's going through your mind when you're creating an oil pattern?
We like to use a lot of past history with the tournament, patterns we've had in the past that we liked, especially here in this building. We were at the stadium a lot. We like to get feedback from our bowlers, our tournament staff that are here, management. We also use Kegel as our consultants. They provide our lane maintenance products. So we like to kind of throw that all together, mix it up, and just try to come up with something a little bit different without getting too far away from what we feel has worked in the past.
Yeah, and specifically when you're putting together the patterns for this year, you look a lot at last year, and what's the goal? What are you hoping to achieve this year over last year's patterns?
Definitely just a slightly different feel. I think people come back to the tournament. We like to make it a little bit different, change it up from year to year. Obviously, we're back here in the same building 2 years in a row, so we didn't vary too much. For the team pattern, we went a little bit longer, but we also tried to use less volume on the pattern without necessarily changing the ratio or difficulty of the pattern. So we'll see how that plays out.
All right, who's ready? Let's go ahead and take a look now. This is the team pattern for the 2014 USBC Open Championships. Obviously, not everyone can read these lane graphs and numbers and shapes and colors. Tell us what we're seeing here.
Basically, the first thing I look for is overall length of the pattern. 43 feet, never been done at the Open Championships. It's the longest pattern we've had since I've ever been around or can remember. Again, with a longer pattern, we tried to narrow the structure of the oil, so you tend to see more of the darker shades towards the middle of the lane, but that falls well within sport bowling ratios, under 3 to 1. And the volume's just a little bit lower, as I said earlier, and the ratio is very similar to last year, but the narrower oil should allow the ball to pick up. We're not too scared on the 43 feet, having plenty of hook.
Let's go ahead and bring in our other 2 experts who are going to help us out today. We've got Lane 81 coach Mike Jasnow, who's going to be a fixture here at the USBC Open Championships, as he has been for so many years, but this time in a little bit more official capacity for the tournament. But Mike, what's the first thing that went through your mind when you saw this pattern?
My first impression was, 43 feet, people aren't going to see their ball hook. But then as I looked closer to it and talked with the expert over here, Eric, I don't think there's going to be a problem with getting the ball to move down the lane. It is a lighter volume. Even though it's a longer distance, it's a lighter volume. So I think the bowlers are going to like it.
And also here with me, USBC Gold coach Stephen Padilla. You've a guy who's got an eagle in this tournament, obviously somebody who has bowled on a few of these. What was your first impression when you saw it?
Same thing that you guys are talking about. With the longer distance pattern, it's definitely going to maybe confuse people a little bit as to what they may need to use for selection for ball choice or where they want to play. So my first impression was, wow, you got to be prepared looking at that distance to know not only what you're bringing to the event, but how you're ready to be prepared and react to what you're going to see with that distance and that lower volume. So you got to bring your tools, you got to have them sharp, and you better be ready to go.
I'm armed with this many experts, so I think we should just go straight in to take a look at the singles and doubles pattern. Let's get that on the screen right now. Eric, take us through again with the colors and the numbers and the graphs. What are we seeing here?
Yeah, again, last year we were at 39 feet. We felt like there's a lot of hook last year here in the building. We were a little bit surprised. So we decided to go a foot longer and put a little more volume in the middle of the lane just to raise that ratio up a little bit. It's closer to 2.7, 2.8 this year. The structure of the pattern is not a whole lot different. It's longer, there's a little more in the middle, and one of the key features on a Kegel machine is the drop rush feature. We lengthen that by 3 feet to help the ball push down the lane a little bit easier. We're hoping that they're just a hair more forgiving than they were last year.
All right, Mike Jasnow, your first impressions on the singles and doubles pattern?
I like it. I thought last year for a lot of bowlers, the temptation when they saw a hook was to move left, and that didn't work out very well for a lot of bowlers. I think with a little bit more taper at the end of the pattern, I think you're going to see a little bit more hold. Now, that being said, it's not hold like a house shot by any means. So you still have to make good shots. I think if there's any miss area, it may be to the right, not the left, especially on the fresh condition.
And Steven, this is your bread and butter, doubles, right? This is where all the action happened for you guys. What is the difference between the team and the singles doubles event when there are fewer bowlers out there, and what do you see from this pattern?
Yeah, on this particular pattern, and you got to think about all the other patterns up to this point. We actually did well whenever we had bowlers in front of us. This year, we got a different pattern completely, just like we did last year, 2 separate patterns. So when you really look at getting attached to the pattern and understanding how to really make your adjustments and choose the right pieces of equipment in the right part of the lane, you don't have to pay attention to who's in front of you or what's going on. You just need to look at the graph, take a look at what it kind of gives you as a starting point for reference, and then you got to really work from there. You got to pay attention to your ball motion, because that's really what's going to tell you what's going on in those lanes. You can look at a pattern all day long, but once you see it in action and see what your ball's doing, that's where you got to make the decisions.
It's like he's doing my segue for me. You might have noticed behind us that there are some bowlers warming up. We're going to head over there now, and I'm going to turn it over to these 3 guys and let the analysts do their job. And we're going to go see the balls being thrown on the patterns for the very first time. Let's go see what we see.
All right, guys, here we are. We have 3 lanes here, 19, 20, and 21 at the stadium. We're looking at the team pattern first. In developing this pattern, as we said earlier, we decided to go a little bit longer this year, but by going longer, we also tried not to make them feel too tight. There's a couple features in the new lane machine now that allow us to taper the oil a lot quicker, and we feel like we've achieved that. We narrowed up the loads of oil a little bit. So tell me what you're seeing and what you think.
Well, definitely with a longer distance, players are going to want to remind themselves that even though it's a longer distance, they're really not going to have the chance to have a lot of extra hold in the pattern. I don't think there's ever been a lot of patterns that in this venue or even in this environment that'll give you a lot of hold. So you want to keep the shape of the ball off the back of the pattern pretty smooth. And you want to make sure that when that ball's coming off the pattern that it's not definitely changing directions too hard, that it's controllable and that it's repeatable.
And Mike, just your take, another great coach. How do you feel? Can you expand on what Steven had to say?
I agree with everything he said, and a smoother ball motion, I think it's important for people to see their ball motion front to back sometimes more than side to side. You very rarely on the fresh sport condition do you want to see like a hockey stick reaction where the ball goes really long and snaps really hard. More of a gradual arcing motion I think is better. That can be done either with a drilling pattern, maybe a lower pin position or a certain ball. It could even be done with a surface change for that matter. Yeah. I think more skid snap can get you into more trouble.
Okay. So normally you would say that smoother motion is done with a stronger ball, maybe more surface on the ball, lower pins on a ball. I will say, however, when we design the patterns, we try to create ball reaction for as many styles of bowlers as we have. I mean, we were going to have, another 50,000 bowlers show up here, and we feel as lane men, our job is to create ball reaction for all. So we feel like we build that into the pattern. Sometimes I feel like guys almost go out and do more damage to a pattern by trying to manipulate it. Do you guys have any insight on that?
Yeah, I agree to that completely. I think this year's pattern, and I can even categorize that with last year's pattern, I don't think it's something that you have to really work hard to build. It's kind of there from the fresh if you're in the right spot in the lane. That being said, I already see on this pattern that there are a couple different angles that are possible for different types of players. I do think the break point down the lane has to be similar. There can be differences in the front part lane, but similar area in the end of the pattern.
Yeah, I like to call that the window of opportunity. Do you feel like there's a range down the lane that is?
Definitely. I see on this pattern included, there's a good 3 to 4 boards at the break point to hit the pocket. Now, will they all carry? Maybe not. They will leave you makeable spares, and I think that's a huge key here at Nationals.
Steven, is there anything you see different compared to, say, last year's pattern? You bowled the event. It's definitely longer, but do you see similarities and or differences?
Yeah, there's a little bit of extra room on the outside parts of the lane. So if you miss in the team event and you're going to miss to the right or the outside of the part of the lane, left or right, depending on which side you're throwing from, you're definitely going to have a little bit more recovery. So that's going to be nice. As a team, I think you still have to play it together, though. Even though you have multiple angles, this is a team event. You're going to want to attack it to the same break point like Mike was referencing. And if you can get all that in line, you can get the team working together, there's some high scores possible still.
And I agree. I think there's a little more recovery to the outside part of the lane, whether you're playing up it or you're playing an angle a little bit more to the inside part of the lane. The area is probably just a little bit to the right. For right-handers, of course. All right, let's move to lanes 23, 24, and 25 here at the National Bowling Stadium. We're looking at the doubles and singles events pattern. This year, 40 feet, a little longer than last year. It has a little more volume in the middle of the lane, which raises the ratio when you're looking at sport ratios here. And overall, that also increases the volume of hair from a little over 24 mils last year to over 26 mils this year. One of our goals was to create multiple angles every year. Last year we felt that there was a lot of hook on the lane, especially in the middle. We tried to make those angles look a little bit better this year. Mike, what are you seeing?
I agree with you, and I think in singles and doubles you may have to be a little bit more patient to see what you want. And what I mean by that is what I see different from team event is there's a little bit less hold in the middle of the lane in singles and doubles. And I think the miss area is definitely to the right than the left, especially on the fresh. I think hold will develop down the lane, but it may take a little longer than some people are willing to be patient for.
Okay. Steven, anything to add to that?
Yeah, compared to last year's pattern, like you mentioned earlier, a little different overall volume in the middle. So I think the scoring potential is there when you really look at this pattern compared to last year, especially once again getting to bowl all 6 games in the same pair. There's still going to be quite a bit of potential for players to develop a good shot where they want to play, or where their doubles and partner want to play, and it's going to open the lanes up a little bit, I think. I agree with Mike, though. You got to be patient, but I think there's still quite a bit of scoreability out there.
And based on lineage, team event, 15 games of bowling on the pair. Doubles and singles turns into 18, so there's just slightly more transition over the course of your 6 games of doubles and singles. What do you guys think about as far as the lane transitioning and the players trying to create the angles as they move along, as they get into their singles competition?
Well, I think as they break down, they'll open up a little bit, so a little bit more forgiving. But I think an important thing to keep in mind is you've got to read your ball reaction, and not only yours, but the people on your pair. You'll be able to see where you can get the ball at the break point, what's too far right, what's too far left, where the angle should be through the heads, what works and what doesn't. And sometimes that's easier to see if you're not the one throwing the ball.
Thanks, Mike. Steven, anything to add to what Mike has to say?
Yeah, absolutely. This year's doubles and singles pattern, I think, once it starts to develop, and you may want to stay in the same part of the lane, you may need to just ball down or do something different with your surface, with your equipment, and then maybe a little something with your technique. Maybe increase your speed a little bit. Just something to keep in the same zone is going to probably give you a better chance of scoring this year.
All right, well, hopefully the angles are out there as things progress. Bowlers, as always, you don't just base everything off of the paper and the lane pattern that you see on a graphic. You have to throw the ball, read your ball reaction, and make the necessary adjustments during your competition here at the stadium.
Guys, thanks so much for your input, and want to jump in right now and remind everybody that you can bowl on this pattern before the scores count. That's why we have the track showcase lanes. Bring your whole team, get your strategy worked out ahead of time. Practice sessions are an hour long and start at several different times throughout the day. You can also schedule a coaching session with Mike Jasnow up at lane 81. The number to call right there on your screen, 866-977-7433 for scheduling and availability for both coaching and for practice. And that is our show for today as the 2014 USBC Open Championships gets underway. Opening ceremonies right here at the National Bowling Stadium tomorrow. Want to thank everybody who was a part of this show for all of their hard work. And of course, thanks to all of you at home who care enough about this tournament to come here and to get a little bit of an insight before you get out here on the tournament lanes. After all, this tournament is all about you. Good luck and good bowling. We'll see you here in Reno.